Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Beth, and today we are going to be trying some new makeup and some old makeup. I actually got the Colourpop Wild Nothing palette in the mail yesterday, and I really want to try this out. I really love the look of this palette. Really pretty tones. I kind of matched my outfit to it. I really want to try the, what is it, garden variety, or I don't know, some kind of new palette. I was like, I wish I would have just held out on that one, but this one is still really pretty. Again, this is how it looks. Super gorgeous. So I'm going to be trying out some new things, some old things, and let's see where we go with this look. So for this look, I'm going to be using a lot of affordable products. Most everything is affordable. There's maybe a few things that aren't, but I really love affordable makeup. I mean, high-end is good too, but I really enjoy finding a good bargain and using makeup that is accessible to most people. So, gotta go wet my sponge and we will be right back. Just a quick little disclaimer. I'm sorry if you can hear a lot of like background noise, like my fan, things like that. I did order a microphone to kind of like cancel out the noises around me, but I lost it. I cannot find it anywhere, so I have to order a new one. So just bear with me until that comes in. So now I'm just gonna get started with my makeup. And I have this little use it up basket going, and this is one of the things on that list. So this is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and I love this primer. I'm not trying to use it up because I don't like it. It's just that she's almost gone, so let's use her up. So I just take a little bit on the back of my nail, rub it in between my fingers, and then I just apply that everywhere that my pores are a bit larger, where I get a little more oily. And I actually love this primer. I switched back to it recently when I was like decided to use it up, and I realized how much I freaking love it. So I was wanting to use my Wet n Wild Dewy foundation. I haven't used this in a while, but I don't know if it'll match me, but we were gonna try it out anyway. I remember liking this foundation, but again, I have not used it in months. So I like to just swipe it on my face and start just kind of smearing it around with my finger. And then that way my sponge will soak up the least amount of product. And then I'm going to take my little perfector sponge. This is from Mascara Beauty. I will post the link down in the info box below to where you can purchase this. And just blend that in. I actually think that color looks pretty perfect. Oof. It hurts right here because my son, my 2-year-old son, his name is Jonah, he was climbing around on me, and his head, I mean, this child has a large head, came flying at my eye right here, and I'm surprised that I don't have a black eye because it hurt so bad. But it's just a little swollen in this area and very tender, and oh, it hurts to touch. Lord, I have glitter on my face. You know what that's from? My kids spilled one of my Colourpop pigments, and now I have glitter on my face. Can you see that? Well, we're just gonna be a little disco ball today. Next, for concealer, I am using the Milani Conceal and Perfect. I have not used this in a minute. Hopefully it's a good shade for me. I'm almost done with this one, but oh yeah, that's a good shade. Now we are just gonna blend that in with our perfector. And I'm kind of thinking this may be a hair dark. I just like to blend it on my lids to cancel out the darkness and the veining, because I have quite dark circles and darkness around my eyes. And I forgot how freaking great this coverage is. Wow. I need to get back into this concealer. And I don't think that concealer is too dark after all. I think it looks pretty perfect. And then I like to go in with my Pretty Vulgar, the Powder Room loose translucent powder. It is just so finely milled and doesn't make my concealer any darker, so this is just a really good one. I don't like to bake, but I like to take some on my sponge and just start pressing that where I want it, and just press it in until there's no excess powder. And we are nice and set, and it makes the under eyes look really smooth and perfected. So I'm gonna take a little bit more, take this down the center of my face, on the smile lines, on the nose, where I am the most oily. And then to set the rest of the face, I'm working on using this powder up. It is the LA Colors Mineral Press Powder. It's actually a really good powder. I heard of this through Emily Noel, and it is great. I already have a backup. I'm just trying to use this one up. Don't worry, we will get to the new products shortly. The more fun stuff. And I feel like that powder added a little bit of coverage, and it just looks really smooth and pretty. Next up, we are gonna move to bronzer, and I'm gonna use the Colourpop Talk to the Palm. Really great matte bronzer. And I am just going to add some dimension back into my skin with this. I really like this tone for my skin tone specifically. I think it works really well. And it's not too warm, but not too cool. Just a really great bronzer, in my opinion. And now I'm gonna go in with the Colourpop Pressed Powder Blush in the shade I Need Space. It's the one with Kathleen Lights. As you can see, I have used the crap out of this blush. I love this one. It is so good. Highly recommend it. It has like a little bit of a sheen to it, which I really like. And not like a shimmery sheen, just like a natural glowy sheen. I always like to add some on my nose, chin, and kind of above the brows, just to kind of tie the whole face together. I actually want to go in with my Bare Minerals concealer, and this is in the shade Bisque. I'm just going to take a little bit of this. I just want to add just a tiny bit to the under eye. As you can see, I just grabbed such a small amount. You don't need a whole lot of this. And I'm going to take my little double-ended brush here. This is a Mascara Beauty one. This is the Best Blend Forever. I'm just going to get a little tiny bit of that underneath the eyes, just for some added coverage and brightness under there. So I just primed my lids with a little bit of the Milani eyeshadow primer. I'm also, trying to use this bad boy up. So now we are going to go into the Wild Nothing palette, and obviously I want to use this green because it is just calling my name. This color looks really pretty as well, and let's see what we can come up with. Okay, so the first shade I'm going to go into, I think, is going to be Hot Springs, which is kind of a mauvey color with a little bit of sparkle in it, but I think it's gonna pretty much perform like a matte eyeshadow. So I'm just taking that on a fluffy crease brush. This happens to be a Morphe M441, one of my absolute favorites, and I am just placing that right in the crease as my transition. And as you can see, I have hooded eyes, so what I like to do is keep my eye relaxed when I'm blending into the crease, because if I try to lift my brows and place this in the crease whenever I relax my face, I'm gonna lose my shadow. So keep your lid relaxed, and then when I get up into this part of the crease, you don't have to put, if you don't like to put shadow here, you don't have to, but I feel like it flatters my eye shape. So that's when I will lift, because I don't want it to go all the way up to my brow. So I think I want to do a little bit of a halo eye situation. So I'm going to go into Come Together, which is right next to the one we just used, which is called Hot Springs. And I'm going to take this little tiny detail crease brush, and this is a Morphe M507. And I'm just going to get that on the inner and the outer part of the lid. So I can't really tell much of a difference between these two shades, if I'm being honest. I feel like they are very close. There is a slight bit of a difference, but they are very close. I kind of wish that this Come Together shade had a little bit more depth, like it looks like it does in the pan. It's pretty, but I'm kind of underwhelmed by that shade. Okay, so that is that Come Together shade on the inner and outer corner. Again, there's not much of a difference, which I'm kind of disappointed in. I know I saw some things going around about this palette because it is not very shade inclusive, and I am kind of like a light medium skin tone, and they're showing up, but they're not packing as much of a punch as I was hoping that they would, if that makes sense. But let's just keep it chugging along here. I'm gonna go into No Bounds, and I'm gonna use it in the same exact places that I used Come Together with that same brush, and hopefully this will give us the depth that we are looking for. So this is packing a little bit more of a punch. Obviously it is a deeper shade. Blending really easily. I'm grabbing really small amounts of this at a time to slowly build that up, because I don't want to have too much at once and not be able to take away what I did. I'm just going in with the first M441 brush that I used to make sure those edges are nice and blended, and I'm sorry that my camera is moving around. My son is hanging out. And then we are just taking that shade right on that inner part, and I'm kind of keeping this center part of the lid open. Now going to go into the shade Seashells, which is that gorgeous green, and I'm going to take that on the center of the lid with a flat brush. This is a MAC 239, I believe. I don't even think they make this version of this brush anymore, but it's a really good one. You can use whatever flat brush you have. You can even use your finger. That's what I use most of the time. But I have primer underneath my nail, but I have these longer nails, so I want to make sure I get this shadow exactly where I want it, and holy cow, look at that. That is beautiful. Woo! I love that. So I'm just going to start tapping the edge up here and bring that up towards the brow. Oh yeah. And then again on this side, I just can't believe how easily, like, I am normally a person who uses shimmer on my fingers because I feel like it gives the best payoff, but this shadow is applying beautifully on the lid without having to use my finger or even wetting the shadow. I think I'm just gonna kind of build that up on the lid a little bit more so we have more intensity here. And then I'm gonna take that little mini brush that I was using, and I'm just gonna kind of blend those edges so we don't have any harshness there. So now I'm gonna go into one of the Super Shock shadows that they have in here, and I'm gonna take that golden one, which is called Sultan. Ooh, ooh, that is beautiful. And I'm gonna take that right on the center of the lid. What did I do here? What are you? I don't know what that was. And I'm gonna take that right on the center, just to add a little bit more of a pop and a little bit more sparkle. Really beautiful shade. Okay, so now we're gonna do some smudgy liner, and I'm gonna go in with the Pure Cosmetics On Point eyeliner in the shade Down to Earth. And this has like a built-in sharpener in the lid, so it's always gonna be pointy, which, I mean, as the name On Point would suggest. But I'm just gonna take this on the upper lash line, and it's really creamy. And once it sets, it doesn't budge. I keep getting my eyelashes all mixed in there. So we have that line. I'm gonna take a really precise little pencil brush, and I'm gonna go back into No Bounds, which is the deepest shade in the palette. And I am going to smudge out that liner. I'm also going to take that deepest shade underneath the lower lash line, just on the very outer part of the lower lash line. Okay, so I actually brought it a little far in, so I'm just gonna bring it all the way in, I guess. Okay, so we are looking pretty smoky. This is not the direction I meant to go in, but I actually really like how it turned out. It's actually really pretty. See me trying to look in the mirror, that's not there. For that pop on the inner corner, I'm gonna go back into that seashells shade. I think this is gonna look cool on the inner corner with this really precise little brush. This is my favorite inner corner highlighting brush. Ooh, pretty. This is the Luxie 111 mini flat angled. Really good for getting right in that inner corner and making whatever shadow you put in there really pop. I kind of just buff it in there. And you can kind of bring it upward right here, which I like to do. Again, trying to look in the dang mirror. Come on, Colourpop. I almost forgot to highlight underneath my brow, so I'm just gonna take the shade Crystal Cove, which appears to have a little bit of sparkle, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna perform just like a matte shadow. So I'm just gonna get that under the brow. Give ourselves a little bit of lift. So I am going to do some brows and mascara, and I will be right back and I will let you know what I use. So we have some brows on and some lashes. Well, not lashes, just some mascara. You can apply lashes if you like to. I'm just a little too lazy for that. For the lashes, I curled them. I use this Essence Volume Booster Lash Primer and then the L'Oreal Voluminous Hydro Fuge in the shade Black Brown. It's waterproof. I'm not a huge fan of it on its own, but it did work better with this underneath. And then for brows, I use the Colourpop Precision Brow Pencil in what shade? Black and Brown. And then my Colourpop Brow Boss Gel in Soft Black. And then I'm actually going to use a little bit of this Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Highlighter in my waterline quickly, just to add a little bit of brightness. And I really like how that opened up the eyes. So I got a little mascara there. We're gonna let that dry completely before I even try to flake it off because I don't want to smear it. So we are just gonna move right on to lips. Actually, I forgot that there was something else I wanted to try. I got the Colourpop Freckle Pen. And I got the shade Dark Brown. The soft brown was out of stock, so let's try this puppy out. I think this mascara definitely dry. Gonna take the little spoolie and just try to flake that off. Okay, so mascara mishap is fixed. So now we're gonna go into the Colourpop Freckle Pen. Again, I have this shade Dark Brown and it just has like this thicker felt tip. And let's start fleckling. Let's start freckling ourselves up. So I'm just gonna start dotting it and then pressing those freckles in with my finger. And so far, so good. It kind of really mimics the shade of my actual freckles. So that's good. I think this was a good shade choice for me. I'm only doing a few at a time so they don't dry too much before I can kind of tap them in. And then I kind of just make smaller and bigger ones, and so far it is looking pretty good. Okay, so we are done with the freckles. I feel like I may have gotten a little carried away. They are cute. I don't think they look super natural. Maybe I need to work with this product a little bit more. Maybe use it underneath my powder so I can kind of put powder over it and it might make them look a little more natural. And I forgot to put some highlighter on, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna use this Natasha Denona Glow. Nice pretty natural highlight. This is not gonna be blinding at all. It is just gonna give us a natural glowy finish. I really do like this one. So just place that at the top of the cheekbones, like so. of the brows, center of the nose, Cupid's bow, and the chin. Okay, so before we move on to lips, I am going to set my face with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I wanted to use a different setting spray, but I don't know what I did with it. So let's just use this one. And then I'm gonna go in with my sponge and kind of press over the area where I put the freckles and see if that kind of helps melt them in a little bit better. Okay, so now we are gonna move on to lips, and I'm gonna take this e.l.f. Retro Paradise lip liner, and I think this is like Nude 02 or something. It came in a set with 4 lip liners and a lip gloss. So pretty sure this is Nude 02. I haven't even used this yet. Look at that. It's like brand spanking new. I need to start using my dang makeup. So we're gonna overline with that. So far, it feels creamy. Okay, so I really like that lip liner. It looks really pretty. I have like dry crustiness in my lips. So next I'm gonna go in with the Colourpop Just a Tint and Give Me Some More. This is another one of my use it up items. I don't have a whole lot left. I mean, I still have quite a bit left, but not a ton. So I'm gonna use that on the lips. And I think that works perfectly with that lip liner. And these smell so good. I can't remember if it's like guava or passion fruit or something. These smell delicious. And then for gloss, this is one of my absolute favorite glosses. It's the Milani Keep It Full Nourishing Lip Plumper in the shade Rosy Bronze. And this is like the yummiest, juiciest, most beautiful gloss ever. Just watch. So juicy. Okay, so the look is finished. I'm actually gonna quickly go over my thoughts on the palette and the shades I used so far. So I did not use a whole lot of shades out of this palette yet. I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we still have 6 shades that I have not used. No, 7. Wait, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 7 shades I didn't use. Apparently I don't know how to count anymore. But I feel like it is beautiful. Really nice shimmers in there. Let's swatch them on the back of my hand. Beautiful, stunning. But if you are any deeper than my skin tone, I don't think you're really gonna be able to use this, to be honest, which is kind of disappointing. If you are my skin tone or lighter, I think you might really like this. It's pretty. I love the packaging. It's textured, really pretty aesthetic wise. The shades are really pretty on the inside. I just think that they could have done a better job at making this a little more inclusive. I will throw that word out there. I feel like they could have did a better job at that. But again, if you're my skin tone or lighter, I think you might actually like this. If this color story speaks to you in any way, definitely check it out. It's affordable. Yeah, those are my, I bit my freaking lip. Anyway, those are my thoughts on that palette. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, watching me try a few new things, some old things. I will see you guys in the next video. Please subscribe, like, and comment, and I will see you later. Bye.